Welcome everyone to Here's the Thing Sports, our first live in-person episode. This is episode 3 of our reboot, and I hope you guys enjoy watching this. First, we're going to start out with some MLB talk. Keegan, let's get started.
All right, so today on the docket, we have a quick story. Last night, Pete Alonso wins the home run derby. First player to hit 100 career derby home runs. Trey Mancini was opponent in the finals after coming back from a cancer diagnosis this year. Your thoughts?
I wanted Mancini to win so bad. Not because I hate Pete Alonso, but I mean, Trey Mancini's story is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to be competitive in that final round, I watched it myself. It was exciting, but Polar Bear Pete was hitting some dingers last night.
Now, Mike Greenberg on ESPN Radio today said that Pete Alonso will go down as the greatest home run derby contestant of all time. What do you think?
If he keeps playing.
Yep.
He said last night in his post-derby interview, he said, I'd like to be back, but you never know what'll happen. Maybe something will come up. He doesn't really want to do it anymore.
Sure.
But if he keeps participating in the home run derby, he'll be up there as one of the greats.
Yeah. Only 26 years old, so a lot of life left in him. The All-Star Game's tonight. I see you're wearing your Red Sox jersey. Your Bo Reds.
The X-Man.
Is that new? Did you get that the other night?
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
I didn't get it at the game.
Oh, you didn't get it at the game?
No, I ordered it for the game.
Okay.
And it came in just in time.
Very nice.
So.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the game tonight. There has been a problem, though, with players opting not to play. How do you think we fix that? Buster Olney, of the MLB genius that he is, he suggested that during spring training, players tell their teams if they want to play or not, and then they can either be put on the ballot or not, but they have to decide at spring training.
I think that's a good idea because you can't get in this situation because you have the rosters. The rosters are all set up already, and it's game time.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing in a couple hours here.
Yep.
It's, you can't come down to this, and then people who were supposed to be in the All-Star game kind of got snubbed, and they could have had a shot at being on the roster for these people that are kind of opting out now.
That's true. And the other part that comes with it is the money part. So these players have bonuses and, certain financial rewards that come with being named to an All-Star team. So now they're saying, well, if these guys say in spring training, I don't want to do the All-Star game, we'd have to figure out their contract another way. Personally, I think if you choose not to be in the All-Star game, you shouldn't get the benefits from playing it.
I agree.
What are your thoughts?
I agree, absolutely, because you're not playing. It doesn't matter if you're good and you get selected to the All-Star game because you're not being selected because you're not participating.
Exactly. I think that's the risk it's going to take, and I think that's the thing that's going to get guys to participate.
Oh, absolutely.
And everybody's talking about Jacob deGrom as an example of this. Honestly, I'm fine with it. Jacob deGrom has had 3 different injuries this year that haven't really kept him out for much time, but he's had a shoulder, an elbow, I think a shoulder again. And so that I do understand needing the rest, wanting the family time. But these guys, they go for 4 days to Denver, Colorado, and they play a game in the middle. And so it's not much relaxation time, and guys don't want to do it. I think give them a whole week, and then maybe see if that changes anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Moving on. That beeping, by the way, is the smoke detector in my apartment.
Yeah, Keegan's apartment, not mine.
Midseason Awards for the MLB. The first half of the MLB season just wrapped up. And so we got some awards to give out. So, Mike, who is your American League MVP for the first half of the season?
My American League MVP, he's been hitting a lot of home runs. His name is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He is my AL MVP. He's batting .332 right now, which leads the majors. He's got 28 home runs, which is tied for second with Fernando Tatis, and we'll talk about him a little bit later. And he's got 73 RBIs, which also leads the MLB. He's unbelievable. You look at what, not only him, but what the Toronto Blue Jays have right now. They have all these young stars that are performing. Now the Blue Jays in the standings, because their pitcher's not that great, they're kind of in the middle of the AL East battle. But Vladdy Jr., he's my pick. I think he's going to keep it up. I think he might even pass Shohei for the home run lead. But
And win the Triple Crown.
yes.
Now, the significance of the Triple Crown is this. There has been one Triple Crown winner in this century, in this millennium, and it is Miguel Cabrera in 2012. Before that, the last person to hit the Triple Crown in Major League Baseball was in 1967, where Carl Yastrzemski of the Boston Red Sox had 44 home runs, 121 RBI, and a 326 batting average. Of course, his grandson now plays for the San Francisco Giants, so it's been a long time.
Yeah, for sure. But Vladdy, he's something special on the Blue Jays. So, Keegan, who you got?
I have much to. Maybe I don't want this too much, but I think Shohei Ohtani. I think he's gonna get it. I think he has to get it because you've heard it a million times. He hits and he pitches, and like I don't know. Maybe I'm just cynical. It's impressive, but to me, I'm just like he's an average pitcher and a very good hitter and a great hitter.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, he's a very good hitter. He's not even batting 300. He's just a good power hitter. And to me, I just don't really get it all the time. I'm like, yeah, whatever, you know. But I think he's gonna get the MVP. I think that's my pick. 279 batting average, 364 OBP. He's leading the league in home runs. He's third in RBI. He's second in OPS with a 1062, and he's first in slugging with a 698. Those are MVP numbers, being on top of the leaderboards at that many stages. Now, what puts him above Vladimir Guerrero, even though Vladimir Guerrero is a possible Triple Crown winner, is the whole pitching thing. Mm-hmm. Is that he has a winning record as a pitcher, and he's not awful. So,
one thing I take away from that though is that's what the Cy Young's for. You keep the MVP for. I mean, yes, you got to be good at what you do, like Vladdy Jr. playing first base. Not a terrible first baseman. Also plays is DH most of the time.
Yep.
But that's what I think. There was a fine line because Shohei is your pitcher. Sure, he does also do DH most of the time because they got to put him in the lineup because he's one of the Angels' best hitters, if not their best hitter.
Yeah, but there's also something to be said, and now I'm going to contradict my statement by saying he's the MVP. There's something to be said about winning, and the Angels right now are 45 and 44. They are one game above 500, and they have a run differential of -26. So he's hit, 70 RBI, and they still have a negative run differential. And not -1, it's -26. So yes, it would be -96 without the 70 RBI. But it's like, if you're going to be a game above 500 and be negative already, what difference are you really making?
Yeah.
Whereas Vladimir Guerrero Jr., ready for this, the Blue Jays have a run differential of +72.
Yeah.
You know what team that is better than? The Boston Red Sox, who have the best record in the MLB. It's just they have no pitching. They have no pitching at all. Anyway.
One thing I just want to point out for all these mid-season awards is it's a matter of can they keep it up? Mm-hmm. That's the main question here because we're halfway through the season. You still got a whole half to go. And sure, these guys are putting up great numbers, but you never know.
Yeah,
injury true. Or just they could slack off.
This is true. Now that's the AL side of the ball. The National League also gives out an MVP. It's not universal, so your National League MVP.
I mentioned him. His name is Fernando Tatis Jr. He's batting .286. He's got 28 home runs, tied with Vladdy Jr. for second most in the MLB. He's putting on a show out in San Diego. I mean, he's a really good shortstop, and he's got the power. Any time of the day, he's hitting the ball over the fence.
Yeah, I think it's special what he's doing because the MLB, I don't know if they've ever been this chock full of great shortstops. There's Trevor Story, there's Andy Bogarts, obviously. There's Fernando Tatis Jr. There's, of course, I'm blanking. Marcus Semien plays shortstop. Brandon Crawford. There are plenty of great shortstops, and the fact that he stands on top and he's getting so much recognition means that he's doing something right.
Absolutely, and at such a young age.
Yeah. And, I mean, he is entertaining. He's got an attitude.
Yeah.
I think, I think I need to grow out of my purist old man way of thinking and kind of embrace it because that's the new wave. But I have a different MVP pick.
Who is it?
This one, I think I mentioned it in episode 1. Everyone's going to say Tatis. I really think we need to look at Jacob deGrom as the NL MVP for a similar reason than Shohei Ohtani. Because he is valuable to his team. The Mets, now, when I talk about the Mets, they are number 1 in their division. They're 47-40. They have a run differential of +9. They are a good team. They're a division leader. And Jacob deGrom is not only pitching the lights out of people, he's hitting. He is leading in ERA, WHIP, and opponent batting average, which to me is like the crown 3 of statistics for a pitcher because he's not allowing earned runs. WHIP is walks and hits per innings pitched, meaning he's first. He's .54. People are getting less than a hit each inning. All right, and his ERA 1.08. That is going to go down as a top 3 ERA if it stands in that neighborhood. That's a top 3 ERA in history. And not only that, he's hitting. He has a .364 batting average with 12 hits, 6 RBI, and a .758 OPS. And that has to lead pitchers.
Oh, for sure. I mean, not a lot of pitchers, especially in the American League, don't get that often chance to bat.
Yeah.
But on the National League side, you got your guys like Jacob deGrom who are going up and saying, okay, I'm not a pitcher. I can do both.
Yeah. And just the fact that he has hit almost as many RBIs as he has given up runs this year is remarkable to me. And I think that is something you're the most valuable